Tonight's dinner is going to be a simple, easy, quick dinner. I don't even have a name for it. It's just something that we've thrown together. First thing you're going to want to do is put a pot of water on the stove, bring it to a boil so that you can cook some penne noodles. The next thing you're going to need is some chive and onion cream cheese, a little bit of heavy whipping cream, some spinach, maybe an extra container of cream cheese, but we'll look at how everything comes together and see if we need the extra cream cheese. We have also put chicken in this, and you can cook your chicken up similar to the way that we did the last night, or you can put it on the stove in a pan of water, just a little bit of water in it, and basically steam your chicken and then cut it up and throw it in at the end. But tonight we are not putting any chicken in that. Once again, I have my large pan out just because later on when we get the noodles in here, I would like a space to kind of push it around that it won't tumble out. So I'm going to turn on the stove, but I'm going to bring it down very, very low so that it's barely even on the lowest setting. And then I'm going to take a container of chive and onion cream cheese, and this is what's going to make our sauce for our noodles. And we're just going to get that started, and I'm going to take a little bit of heavy whipping cream. But the point is here is to just get it melted down a little bit. Originally, Philadelphia cream cheese had put together something, can't even get this open, where all you had to do was cook your noodles, throw your chicken in, and you could just take their cream cheese and melt it into your pasta and your cheese, and all of a sudden it just disappeared and it was no longer available. And so we tried to kind of make our own up, and so I'm just going to add just a little dribble of heavy whipping cream, and then I'm just going to start letting this warm up and come to a sauce. You're going to want to continue to stir this. You don't want anything to get to the bottom of the pan. You're going to stir it and kind of flatten out your cream cheese so that it can meld a little bit and blend in with the heavy cream. So just keep watching this as you're waiting for your water to boil and getting your pasta ready. Okay, our water has come to a nice rolling boil. So make sure when you're cooking pasta that you get a nice rolling boil on that. Don't ever measure. I just kind of look. I'm going to put about half the box in here. So that's about 8 ounces of pasta. And that should give us about 4 servings, because this whole box is a 8 serving box. So if we get half of it. So you're going to want to make sure you stir your pasta, because if you don't stir your pasta before it comes back to a boil, like I said the other day, that's when it sticks together. And no one wants pasta that sticks together. Different pastas take different times. This one says boil uncovered for 10 to 12 minutes. So when you're boiling pasta, I don't ever start my timer until the water comes back up to a boil. Let that stir a little bit. Continue to, oh, this is starting to get nice and soft. I actually think I'm going to add the other container of cream cheese to it. So see how the water's coming back up to a boil now? Now I'm going to set my timer for about 10 to 12 minutes. And I'm actually going to back my stove down a little bit, because if I don't, it's going to boil over, but I don't want to lose the boiling. The other thing you're going to want to make sure you do is make sure that you come back and stir your pasta every once in a while, or it'll stick together and stick to the pan. So I'm going to grab this other container of cream cheese, open it up, and add that to what I've got here. It's been a while since I made it, so I couldn't remember if I used 1 or 2, so I made sure I bought 2. And once again, I'm just gonna add in a little bit more of the whipping cream to help it become a little better of a creamy sauce. And that all comes down to preference. So I'm gonna let that sit for a while and stir this around. Let the pasta continue to boil, and we'll be right back. While I'm waiting for the pasta to finish up and the sauce to melt down, I'm just going to take some spinach and I'm just going to roughly chop it. You can use almost an entire 5-ounce container of spinach. I am taking off some of these little ends here and just give it a little rough chop. It doesn't have to be anything special. But I know not a lot of people like ends, so I like to pull off a lot of the ends. The other thing I watch out for in my spinach is sometimes you get the slimy little stinky guys in there, and I don't like the slimy little stinky guys like this. That's just kind of gross. So I make sure I pull those out, get a good pile, and just give it a little bit of a rough chop. Makes it easier for eating too. That's it, and then I just continue doing that with the rest of my spinach. What? Oh, I'll steam that. I had a little bit of a video problem. I have drained my pasta, added it to the sauce, added all of the rough chopped spinach, and as you can see, it brings it to this type of consistency. I used cream in it, the whipping cream, to give it a smooth consistency. If you don't like whipping cream, you can use milk on it. And if it seems a little dry, add a little milk or a little more whipping cream to it. And that's it. Quick, easy, simple. And I don't have a name for it yet. If you want to come up with a name for it, that'd be great. Let me know. Have a great night and stay safe.